Oh my gosh, okay, well, everybody's heard this. Okay, so everybody's heard this story about me and Disney, but I have a really cute one. I was growing up. I was always dropped off at my grandparents' house to be babysat while my parents went off to work, and my dad would take me there. And I would be there pretty much all day, and my grandparents would feed me, and I would be asking for Beats. But little did they know, what I had meant was Beauty and the Beast, but because it was my favorite movie at the time, so I'd just be like, Beats, Beats, and I was like 2 years old. At this time, I couldn't even speak. I couldn't even like say, I was just like, I couldn't even speak a sentence. I was just saying whatever came to my mind, and Beats was the first thing. So my grandparents would keep feeding me Beats, and I would have purple all over my mouth, and my dad would walk in and be like, what's going on? Like, why does he have purple all over his mouth? She was like, well, he kept asking for Beats, and he was like, no. His favorite movie at the time is Beauty and the Beast. So it was a goofy introduction into the world of Disney. And I blame my grandparents for my love of Beats now.
So the first time I ever saw The Lion King on stage, I must have been about in middle school or so, and I remember just seeing, the animals come down the rows of the theater, and just being in awe at the magic that was created. And that was the moment that I knew that I had to be on stage as an actor and a singer, and that was the moment that it really connected with me. So Disney has played a huge part in me discovering what I want to do.
Well, Disney and I have a little bit of a history, because I did get to go on tour with Newsies. That was the first big project that I did with them, and now DCappella. There's so many amazing things that have happened between then and now. One of my favorite things so far about Disney is just, when we were doing this ABC special, and we got to film at Disney World, and it's gonna be on for Christmas this year. And we got to just go around the parks and sing and be in front of a roller coaster and be singing and doing our music, and that was probably one of the coolest things about just being a part of the Disney company. But also probably the first time that I ever went to Disney World. That was a dream. I remember I had never been. I was 16 years old and I had never been to Disney World, and we lived a state away. We were living in Georgia. So we never went. And then eventually our whole entire family got together and we were like, let's all just go to Disney World. A lot of the kids haven't been, so it'd be fun to just take everyone at the same time. And we did, and we got there really early at Magic Kingdom, and we watched the opening ceremony that they do. I think they do it every single morning. And when everybody sings and they dance, and then everybody gets to walk into the park. I remember just breaking down in tears watching that, because I was so excited. I felt like a 3-year-old, because I had never been to Disney before. And then, finally getting the chance to go, I felt like a kid again.
So my family used to take trips to Disney World in Orlando, Florida, every summer when I was a kid. It wasn't a very long drive to get there, so we would go and stay for about a week. And one year, there was some attraction there where we got to make our own music video. And so my family got to, my dad was on the guitar, my mom was on the piano, and I was on the drums. And that was the moment I discovered I really liked rhythm. And it was so interesting. You got to take home this fun music video from Disney World and replay it in your home. So it's kind of interesting that at the age of 5 or something, that I, in a sense, got to work for Disney World in the music field, and now cut to a number of years later that I'm here working with Disney again. What I love about Disney is that no matter how old you are, there's always magic, and you can always feel that magic anytime there's a show or you see one of your favorite characters, and that's the thing I love about Disney.
So for me, Disney has seemed to be a part of my life since childhood. My father actually gave me a Mickey Mouse stuffed Mickey Mouse when I was 1 year old. So I kind of had that growing up. Also, forgot about this until now. At the foot, when I was like 4 or 5 years old, at the foot of my bed, I had this, like when you pull a string and then as it goes back in, it plays music. What this was is, when you wish upon a star, that song would play, and you pull it out and it would play it. Every time it would play, I'm not lying, I would cry. And I'm not sure if I even knew what the song meant, but that's how much that song meant to me as a child. Just hearing it did that to me, which is amazing. And then I remember also, this is bringing back so many memories, but when I was growing up in like elementary school, my mom bought this like 3 foot tall plastic Coke can that had a little thing, it was like a piggy bank, had a little seal at the top, and any coins I could put in, I put into it, and it was the savings account for going to Disneyland. And so once I saved enough, and my mom and dad chipped in, of course, I had enough money to go to Disneyland. And so when I don't even remember how old I was, but I had to have been like 8 years old, went to Disneyland, and one of the things, I will never forget the smell of the Pirates of the Caribbean ride. It's such a specific smell that once I went back there when I was in college, I was like, well, I remember this, I totally remember this ride. So it's the memories that Disney has throughout my life has stained these beautiful memories that carry with me throughout now working at Disney World and with the Disney company in a variety of ways. This has just been such a beautiful blessing. Like what Walt Disney has done has truly created the life that I now have, which I can't thank him enough for.
I think being an American, Disney is so much entrenched in who we are as a culture, as a people. I still to this day, when I see Mickey, I can't not turn into a child and just have a huge smile on my face. It's really incredible that a brand and a company has that indelible mark on you that just hits your heart. And when I was younger, when I was 6, I saw The Lion King when I was in Chicago with my family, and it was sold out. And I still remember the sun coming up on the horizon and hearing and just instant chills. And I didn't know why or what, but that song still hits. And the fact that it's a cappella, and I'm now in an a cappella group under the Disney label, it's weirdly serendipitous and full circle, and it's beautiful. That is a memory I will never forget.
Honestly, I wish my mom was here so she could tell the story, because this is very much a full circle moment for me. I used to, my favorite Disney movie growing up was Aladdin. And my mom tells a story about how like me and my sister would sit. This was when you had the big TVs with the backs before the flat screens, and they would sit on a coffee table, and me and my sister would sit close up on the TV to watch Aladdin, and her favorite movie was Little Mermaid. And I started working with Regina Bell, who sings the Aladdin theme, A Whole New World. She sings the soundtrack version. I started working with her in about 2013, and I was singing A Whole New World with her. It was originally Regina and Peebo Bryson. And so she would, after I did the voice, she took me on a couple of different, I toured with her for a few years, where I would do different spot dates with her, and she had a duet section in her show, and I would go and do A Whole New World with her. And so this is very much a full circle moment to be a part of this experience, singing that song. You just never know where you're going to end up. You know, it's a testament to you just never know where life is going to take you. So that would be my story, my Disney story.